So, my dear, you have decided that you want to be an interior designer? Well, let me tell you what you're getting yourself into. Hi guys, my name is Sophia Vinasco, and if you haven't met me yet, well then come join the family because we're about to get to know each other real well. I am your new digital best friend for everything self-care, confidence, life, advice, career. Girl, we do it all on this channel, but my main goal is to create a safe space where everybody can feel connected and feel like we can all just come together and be one big family. So if that's something that interests you, please hit that subscribe, that follow, those post notifications. Girl, just do it all. I am also on TikTok and I am on Instagram too, and I post every day on my TikTok. I would love to connect with you, so I'm gonna link those socials in my bio. This week's theme is gonna be very special, and it's about becoming an interior designer. So you might be asking yourself, girl, like, who even are you and why are you talking to me about interior design? Well, I am a fourth year interior design student at an accredited university, and we'll talk about what that means soon. But I'm also an intern at a pretty big architecture firm. I have been an intern for 3 years now at 2 major firms, and I've seen enough of the field to pretty much give some good insight and good advice as to what you're going to be getting yourself into with interior design. Because honestly, it is not what I thought it was, and I've had a dream of being an interior designer since I was 12 years old. Trust me, my friends, I would never encourage any of you to not follow your dreams because I honestly believe that any and all of you are capable of doing what you put your mind to. This is just my real experience, and honestly, 4 years in, I love it. So let me just give you the tea. Number 1, there is a difference between being an interior designer and an interior decorator, okay? That is the biggest misconception in our field, and honestly, there's a couple of really major differences between the two. So to be an interior decorator, you do not need a college degree, you do not need licensure, and you traditionally don't work in a firm or a company. An interior decorator is more so what they call picking the paint colors, putting on the decorations, you know, the kind of final touches. But what interior designers do is actually interior architecture. And I feel like that's not something that people understand when they're first looking to go into the field because they think they're gonna go to college and just learn how to decorate and paint. Girl, when I tell you this is real life, like structural construction documents, it's pretty much all we do, and some creative work. So to be an interior designer, also known as an interior architect, you do need at least a bachelor's degree in a specialized school or a specialized program called an accredited program. If you want to end up landing a good job in the field, then the program that you go into has to be accredited. And I will put the definition of what that means on the screen, but basically it means that you're going to a reputable university that is teaching you specific skill sets so that you can go into your profession ready and prepared. Now, moving on real quick to licensure. So here's the thing. You not only have to get a 4-year degree to be an interior designer, but something that you also really should consider doing, even though it's not technically required, is licensing yourself. Now, getting a license through the NCIDQ program means that you have to take 3 tests after getting a certain number of work hours at the firms that you're working at. And on top of that, you're gonna have to do hours and hours of studying to get your license and become a reputable interior designer / architect. Girl, if you don't get that license, you're not getting paid, okay? Like, you're not getting paid, and you're also not gonna be taken as seriously. So one of the tests you can take while you're in your senior year of university, but the other 2, you have to work for a good 2 or 3 years at a firm, getting points or hours in specific categories before you can even consider taking the exams. More information about the licensure is also linked down below, so be sure to go check that out if you're curious about what it means to be licensed. Now, really quickly, we're gonna get into what it means for you during your schooling and how rigorous it is during your schooling. Now, first entering the interior design program, I did not expect and I was not ready for what I had to go through in school. I really was not. First off, my specific program was selective admissions, meaning that I had to spend an entire year developing a portfolio, and only like 40 or 45 of us got admitted, which was a lot of stress, but I'll tell you, the classes were pretty fun and we did a lot of different things. So now let's get into what the actual profession is like. Based off of my experience kind of being an intern for 3 years, I have witnessed a lot, and let me tell you, what it means to be assigned to a project, and how many projects you're going to be doing throughout your time as an interior designer. At a firm, you're handling a good 10 to 15 projects at once, if not at least 5 projects, okay? Now, you might be like, okay, I mean, like, what even is a project? Let me give you an example. Say your firm connects with the higher ups at your university and they want you to design that gym. There's a whole process that you have to follow, and each step is completely different. You have to do everything from come up with a creative concept to place the walls in the building to then create final renderings with construction documents, with general contractor documents, with architect documents. Like, some of these construction documents can reach up to like 150 pages. Now, throughout this process, you're also working hand in hand with a number of different people. At the end of the day, your job is to make the client happy, and in the process of doing so, you can't do it alone. So you're working with other designers, you're working with general contractors, architects, engineers. Like, this is not just a one-man show. You are constantly in collaboration with other people, and this can go on for many different projects at the same time. So I would say if you're not good at multitasking and you're not organized, this might not be for you, okay? And that's just me being honest. I mean, some projects can take 2-3 years to do. Some of them go on hold and some of them never happen even though you've put the work in. Design and the interior design world is completely unpredictable, and you have to be ready for change. You have to be ready for clients that aren't going to be happy. You have to be ready to negotiate and deal with difficult people throughout this entire process. So a lot of the time what we do is through a computer visualization program called Revit. And that is essentially where you do all of your construction documents. But since we work on the computer so much to do these large sets or large batches of renderings or design presentations for clients, you are low-key kind of stuck to the desk for a lot of your day. As an intern who has been working on some of these projects with lead designers, I do find myself stuck at my desk for 8-9 hours a day. And I wish I was exaggerating, but I'm not, and I just want to be completely honest and realistic with you about what that lifestyle is going to look like. Now, let me tell you, that's not all it's going to be. It can be interesting, but of course you have to kind of work your way up before you can get the other experiences of being a designer. Now, let me tell you some of the other things you're going to be doing when you're not working on construction documents or when you're not working in Revit. There are site visits, so you go and get to see the project that you've been working on in person, which is actually pretty amazing. There is client meetings, which are pretty constant throughout the entire design process, but allows you to meet new people and network with others, and also just learn how to talk to people in general, because you have to work with all different kinds of personality types. Of course, there are meetings with architects, engineers, and general contractors, all of which can be very varying personalities, so that's kind of another sector to where you can learn how to work with different people and sharpen your people skills. And on top of that, something that isn't really spoken about is the fact that you get to meet industry representatives. So people from different companies, like the flooring companies that you're going to be working with, maybe someone who's doing your paint for the paint companies, maybe someone who's giving you upholstery for your chairs or putting wall covering on the walls. All of those brands are represented by different people who all come in and essentially connect with you and try to get on the project with you. So what's pretty cool is they come in sometimes and they'll give presentations and you'll get lunch. They'll come and present their new products to you, and there is some pretty cool stuff that you'll see along the way with those presentations. And it's just a fun little tidbit that I feel like a lot of people don't talk about in design, and it really just gives you a break to decompress, learn about new things, and just sharpen your design skills overall. Now, I will tell you this, it all comes down to the company you work for, because if the company is not a culture fit for you, then it's gonna be a tough lifestyle. You really need to make sure that you resonate with the company you're working for, the people who work there, and that you're satisfied with the workload that they're giving you, because every single design firm is completely different. One more thing, so you know how I mentioned those representatives, right? Well, if you don't want to work in a firm, you also have the option of being a representative for one of these companies. One of them, let's use an example, Maharon Textiles, right? There's someone that's representing Maharon Textiles and traveling all over their region to go sell these products to different people. If that's more of your vibe, if you like salesperson, if you like connecting and always being on the go, you can always be an industry representative and do that instead of working in a firm and working at the desk. Now, it's a completely different experience because you don't get to work on projects all the time and you don't really get to engage in the construction side of things, but you do get to go to new places, meet new people, and see the different firms that you could work at in the future. And the great thing about having a design degree is that you can always switch between the two and try new things throughout your career, which is honestly beautiful. That's what I love about it. I mean, it's wonderful. I'll tell you, overall, although it can seem like a stressful job, you can do so much as an interior designer and you can make it as interesting as you want. On top of that, seeing your designs in person or seeing a client happy with your designs, I feel like tops everything at the end of the day, because you know that you're doing your work for a purpose and you know that that work is going to be there like forever for so many people to see. Design changes lives, and that is what got me inspired into doing it in the first place. And I believe that if you have that dream, you should see it through and you should really do it. Like, you should really give it a try because it can take you so far and so wide, even coming down to traveling all over the world. So I hope this advice helped, and I hope that if you're considering, but if you are deciding to be a designer, please follow your dreams. And I really, really hope that my advice today helped you and kind of gave you some more clarity on what it means to be in the field. If you have any questions, of course, drop them below in the comments. I can go into more detail, and I've also linked some resources in the bio of this video. Yeah. So I will see you guys next time. New week, new theme next week. And please be sure to tune in next Sunday at 4 p.m. Love you guys.